You're a professional player for Sea Surge. How did that happen?
Yeah, so Sea Surge.
Let's tell the audience what is Sea Surge and the whole MLP tournament I
Yeah,
was part of.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a league called Major League Pickleball. It's basically the IPL of pickleball, and it started in the US. Actually, cool story. They have some amazing investors on board now. You have people like LeBron James, Tom Brady, Nick Kyrgios, Gary Vee, to name a few, who have kind of invested in the game. You have Drake, Michael B. Jordan. So I'm talking like the biggest athletes, the biggest celebrities, and some of the biggest business owners in the US all have invested in different teams in the US. And that Major League Pickleball MLP franchise, it first branched out to Australia. So that's where Team Sea Surge exists. So I played in the Australia MLP. And yep, the season just ended, season one. It was a fantastic experience. I got to go to Sydney, Auckland, and Brisbane for one event each. And it was just such a treat to be competing alongside other teammates and
Wow.
being in that whole team atmosphere.
How did you get this opportunity? Were there trials or?
Yeah, so there was a audition.
Okay.
You have to kind of create a video explaining who you are as a person, talk a little bit about yourself and your journey in pickleball, and then you post some of your highlight videos just to showcase your talent. But I think the main thing that helps you get drafted into a league like this is your past results.
Okay.
So over the past 1 year, I've competed kind of all over the world. So I've played tournaments in the US, all over India. I'm talking Mumbai, Goa, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Pune, and then all over Asia as well. I took part in tournaments in Bali and China. So the fact that I did really well in those tournaments, I pretty much just made every final. So I was either coming first place or second place. That, along with just my personality and kind of promoting the game and promoting myself as an athlete, put me in a position to be able to play in Major League Pickleball.
Superb.
No, that's pretty cool. But when you're drafted in the team,
Yeah.
what's that life like? Like if you're like a professional pickleball player playing in Australia or the US, like what's that life?
First, let me just tell you about the experience that I had kind of when I got drafted. So I was in Palm Springs, California for another big tournament. I was competing in it and watching all the pros play. And the live stream was happening at about 1 a.m. in the morning. So I'm sitting on YouTube. That's where the live stream's taking place. And it's so competitive. You have like some of the best players in the world applied for this draft. And there are only 36 spots left to be drafted. Okay, there are only 36 spots left in the MLP. And as each spot is going on, I'm just getting more and more nervous. I wanted it so bad, but it wasn't guaranteed and everything. And I kid you not, I got drafted in, I was the last pick in the second round. So I was the 24th pick. And the moment they called my name out, I've never experienced so much joy in my life. I mean, I was on top of the moon. I literally ran around my hotel room in celebration. Like, I called my girlfriend, I called my parents, and I started to tear up just because of how big it was. And that moment when I realized that, I've grinded so hard for so many years, and for so long, it didn't really count for anything. For a long time, I didn't know if I was going pro. I was just doing it because I enjoyed it. And then for all that effort to translate into getting into the big leagues, like, it was just a fantastic moment in time. It was just a fantastic experience to play in the Major League Pickleball.
When you're there playing in those leagues, what does the team sponsor? Like, do they like sponsor your kits, your equipment? How much do you get paid? Like, what's the
Let
money
me
like?
take you through what it's like to play in Major League Pickleball Australia. So, as you mentioned, the team completely, or the league completely, takes care of all your kits. So we had multiple jerseys with our names on the back. They take care of your food and everything while you're there. You have physios on site. So if your body's not feeling 100%, or if you need some recovery work, they work on that for you. And then there's also like an appearance fee or a guaranteed salary, which is about 1,000 Australian dollars. That adds up to about 40,000 rupees. And that's even if you're coming last place, like, you're guaranteed to make that money. And then it goes all the way up to $5,000 Australian for first place, which is about 2.5 lakhs. And then everything in between. So second place is $3,000, about 1.8 lakhs, and then you keep going all the way down to the 40,000 rupees.
Got it.
So, but there are also other opportunities to play. Like they have other tournaments while Major League Pickleball is going on as well, and there's cash prize for that as well. So if you end up doing well in these tournaments, you can be coming home with a serious chunk of change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus endorsements, like if you play really well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, in any pro sport, including pickleball, the better you do, the higher likelihood you have of bringing in good sponsorship money. And I would say that is the biggest way that I think all athletes are kind of funding their pro journey, especially in pickleball, where, as I mentioned, there is a cash prize, but it's not so high. It might not be enough for people to sustain their lifestyle just on the appearance fees and the cash prize. But that's where the endorsements and the sponsorships really come in and take care of you. And that's why you're incentivized to play at your highest level.
Right.
Yuvi, just brief me on two things, right?
Yeah.
How long does the tournament go on for? Like how many months?
So
are you
the Major League
participating?
Pickleball, like season 1 was 3 events.
Okay.
It was Sydney in February, Auckland in end March, early April, and then Brisbane just happened in May end.
So
there's
3
about
months,
5 to
5
6
months.
weeks gap, and it happens over 3 days.
Okay.
Where you're competing in Major League Pickleball for about 3 to 4 hours every day. But as I mentioned, there are other tournaments taking place in the morning as
Yeah.
well. So that's usually the structure of the
Okay.
events.
What I was trying to ask is, are you allowed to play in other tournaments?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's non-exclusive.
I'd say no, it's not exclusive at all. And I'd say the most of us who took part in MLP Australia, we were grinding and playing other tournaments in that time in between.
Yeah.
So, for example, like after Auckland, I hopped on a flight and I went straight to LA. Stayed there with a few friends, went to Santa Barbara, did some training over there with one of the top coaches, and then I flew straight to Houston to play in another tournament. So I'd say most of us who are on the professional pickleball journey, we're playing at least one pro event each month, if not more.
More. So more events means more money. Yeah.
Not necessarily, honestly. Like,
Okay.
if you are a top player who is having good results, getting on the podium, then I would say it definitely translates to more money, because not only are you picking up the cash prize from the tournament, but you're getting in the eyes of all the sponsors and they will offer you better deals and contracts. However, if you're not doing that well, say you're bottom tier, you're coming last, or not making deep runs in tournaments, then you're actually burning money, because as you all know, it's expensive to travel. If you're trying to get to Bali, China, US, Europe, Australia, all these, the flights cost money,
Yeah.
the hotels cost money.
Yeah.
And if you are not finishing well in these tournaments, you're not picking up any cash prize, and the sponsors aren't really going to be paying you any good money. So it's expensive and it's a cash burn for the players who aren't performing right now. But it's definitely a lot of money to be made if you are top talent and doing well in these tournaments.